done lots of stuff since that doctor told me all I can do is life-size. I've nearly finished my short film. It's like, don't tell me that, my life's over because I have got a disability of some sort, or because I've got, back injury or this or that. Find different ways to get through it. Don't let it be the thing that makes you have to lay in bed all day. I was driven for very many years by other people's opinions. And maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you can't do it. Maybe, And then I was just like, I don't care anymore. And since I've not cared about other people's opinions, and I've just recently said to everybody, my new favorite person is me, and that I am valuing myself now. So either like it or don't like it.
Claiming the power back.
Yeah, because it's always been about everybody else. And now it's about me, still about everybody else, because I'm making it about everybody else in film, but
Hi guys, welcome back to A Seed of Wisdom podcast. I'm your host Harry, and today I'm sitting down with an incredible Indigenous filmmaker whose vision, work, and lived experience are creating amazing work in this industry. Let's dive straight in and welcome Baxter.
hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us this time today, because I know you are doing a lot of different things, and catching you is always hard. You have to catch you at the right time at the right place, and really, we are really grateful to have you here, and I'm so excited to know about you, about your journey, your lived experiences, and how you're impacting the film industry, I would say, or the movie industry. Let's dive straight into the conversation.
Okay.
Baxter, I would like to start from scratch, just a bit about your introduction, where you were born, how you're connected to Indigenous community and stuff like that. So if you can please tell our audience.
Baxter. I was born in Inverell, New South Wales. So I'm a Wiradjuri Kamilaroi woman. I guess I have lived up in Queensland though since I was 2 years old. So I grew up out of Ipswich nearly my whole life, but my dad lived on the Gold Coast. So I sort of lived between Ipswich and the Gold Coast. So a lot of organizations and a lot of the Indigenous stuff that I've done is between the Gold Coast and Ipswich, because this is primarily where I grew up. And then, I guess my family also was born Ipswich and Gold Coast. So a lot of the family is all, we're just connected everywhere, really. I mean, fly up north, you're connected. Fly WA, you're connected. I think mob is all different, but at the same time, you're still connected to the land wherever you are. So, yeah.
Yeah, now we are very grateful for this land, where we are right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I always acknowledge, whenever I start my podcast, we have this beautiful acknowledgements. That's the podcast, because you have to respect the land that you're on.
Yes.
Doesn't matter which part of the world you're in, because it is Mother Earth, we say.
I agree. I think any part of the world that you're in, you should adhere to what happens in that place.
Yes, and a lot of people kind of forget that.
Yeah.
You, and especially Australian land, it's very energetically powerful.
Yes.
Because it's very old land, and people who do know about this land, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, because old indigenous communities and elders, they hold this power
Yeah.
that it's not shared like everywhere, but they know who they are
Yeah. Yeah. They
and
definitely hold their space well.
hold their space well.
Yeah.
So that was like I would say you're Queenslander through and through.
Well, unless it's the state of origin, and then I'm back being a New South Wales girl. But yeah, mainly, yeah, everything Queenslander. I do like to go back home and be a part of New South Wales, because that's. I always feel like when you go over the border, even if you go into Tweed, like I feel that connection. Like so, there's a difference between being in Queensland, and when I literally step over that line, I tried it out. I went, how you got the line between Tweed and here. I literally stepped a foot over the line, and it feels just the same as if you drive through. So like I wanted to test it out because it's like I can just breathe so much easier as soon as I step over into New South Wales.
Oh, really?
But I think that's because that's where you're born, so you're naturally going to feel like that's home, no matter where you are. That connection, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy you said that because I lived in Australia for like now 18 years, right? And I lived in Melbourne for a little bit. And when I was in Melbourne, I never really was able to get grounded. I was always connected to the Gold Coast, right? So when we drove back to the Goldie, I went straight to the ocean. Like something that I needed to do to get the connection back and to connect with this land. And I always, the area that I live on right now, Chevron Island, I always come back to the same place.
Yeah.
Always same. So I might have a connection at this place or where I'm living right now, but that's a conversation for other time, I guess.
Yeah, I always wonder when I go, because I really want to go to LA next year. I have wanted to go to LA since I was a little girl. My mum said I used to go outside, and even once I jumped off like this 2-story balcony because I was going in my invisible Wonder Woman jet to get to America. So I was like, I must have some sort of connection there. So I'm wondering if I feel like the same when I go over there, like you do here with Gold Coast. So yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. That's for next year.
Well, then I guess the time is right. Things will align, isn't it? Because I believe like everything has a time.
Yeah.
And when the time is aligned, things happen without any effort.
Oh yeah, I went to psychics like my whole life, and every single one of them, including my own senses, said when you're 50, that's when everything's going to change. It was like a whole big cycle had to end before I could move forward into the next cycle.
Yes.
And so every single psychic was like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I'm like, in my 20s, how the hell can you know that that's going to happen when I'm 50? And bang on, turn 50 or leading up to my 50th, like I'm telling you, it all has just been like a whirlwind, like bang, 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 bang. So they all did know. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you get the right psychic out there and you'll get the right advice.
Yeah, getting the right psychic, like being from India, we know that it's a big business.
Yeah, it is a big business.
Astrology and stuff is no offense to astrologists, but every second person is an astrologer now.
Yeah.
And trying to
I
make
think
living.
I think that's because it's easier, because like after COVID something happened, I think, and a lot of people had more time to go within themselves. And so after COVID, I think something happened where people were able to start reading for themselves and stuff like that. So then after COVID, a lot of people have come out enlightened and like, oh, I can do this for other people now. But you can not always necessarily do it for other people, like you can do it for yourself though.
Yeah.
So
It's I think being human, when you remove all the distractions and you really sit with yourself and connect within yourself, you will receive the downloads.
yeah.
And deep down, the question that you ask yourself, you know the answer, but you're trying to find it in outer world, external world.
Yeah.
And that's when you go to the psychics, astrologists, tarot readers, just to get the answer that you already know. And
Exactly.
that's who we are. We are all intuitive beings, and we know exactly what we need and what time we need, or we choose not to. And that's what anxiety it is. Like,
Yeah.
when your gut feeling says something and you're not listening to it, that's when you get anxious.
Yeah, exactly.
So but yeah, that's like, I know I can have this conversation with you for like next 2 hours, because
Yeah.
we had this amazing conversations years ago.
Yeah. We'll call it the
And
Chevron combos.
Chevron combo, yeah. And but yeah, that's crazy conversation. We can't really talk about it here because we'll get censored. Baxter, like, I would like to start with your, like, we finish your childhood. Like, what experiences how was your childhood and your upbringing here?
I think that I had a pretty tough upbringing. Like, my mum and dad divorced pretty early. And my dad also had the AIDS virus as well, which made it really hard. Because back then, to mention that you had AIDS, you were like, oh, you must be a dirty person, or you must be this, but he was also gay. So back then they were still bashing the gays and doing all these different things. So I think that, we did it pretty tough, back being brought up. Lots of things happened when I was little, lots of trauma. And I think that for me, going into anything film or anything like on the TV would take me away. Like, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz, Herbie the Love Bug, all these different things for me, which always had me as a creative when I was little. So anything at school that I could do, whether it was softball, whether it was being the princess lead in, a play, dancing, sewing, like anything that I could get my hands on to, like, help me, through this creative process so that I could, like, survive all the traumas when I was little. But then I guess you turn teenager and then you have different influences around you, like alcohol and drugs and all these different things that you can then access. And so, like, from a young age at like 12, I was stealing my mum's Southern Comfort and I was taking it to all the parties and stuff like that. So I was that girl that would take the alcohol. So not necessarily the right girl or what people liked, but it was just that was my new creativity, but it wasn't really the right sort. So then, coming through my teens and stuff like that, I sort of lost myself a little bit and then left year 10 and got an apprenticeship as a hairdresser. But then I think that family life was still pretty crappy for me, so and pretty hard. So then I just turned to groups of people that were doing the wrong thing and I just rode with that for a while. And basically you think you're being really creative when you're drinking a lot or you're doing these other things because you're, going away from everything, but you're really not. And so I guess when my dad died when I was 21, I went through like a nervous breakdown and just cold turkeyed off everything like overnight and was like, oh, there's got to be more, because I'd already had 2 kids at this point. So it was like, I've got to really like not be that person. I've got to, straighten up and just, I am a good person and just find my own way, find my own family, whether it was friends or whatever. So I do have a lot of friends that I've made family.
So like you found your own community.
I did, yeah. And then basically I just kept having more kids, as you know. So my family life, I really always wanted to do the TV stuff and the film stuff and be the actor and the writer and everything like that. But I couldn't do that yet. So I sort of went right down the whole psychic medium path, doing anything in the organizations that I could, like joining Headspace, doing, different organizations that dealt with like suicide or DV or drug and alcohol abuse. And then I would like help people that way. So I'd use my way of helping people as a way of helping myself as well heal. So when I moved to the coast though, I heard this little voice. I lived out country, and then I heard this voice and it said, you need to move to the coast because it's going to change everything. So this is when my dad was down here, and I loved it at surface and being at the coast. And, you know, I've lived all around the coast now, but it said, go to the coast and everything's going to change. Literally, as soon as I moved down here, I found a new community who helped lift me up even more, and gave me that confidence to go out and create products or go and join an acting school. And, you know, from there, it's just gone from there. Moving to the coast, moving back to the water and grounding myself, and just being free.
Yeah, there's something about ocean. It's like therapeutic, you know, like cleansing. You sit beside, you know, walking along the beach or sitting there on the sand. You just release. And sometimes you can't explain what you're feeling, but deep down you are lighter.
Much lighter, yeah. I like to go down and watch the sun come up. I do it often. But I thought, even when I went down there a few weeks ago, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be the only person. Everybody's down there. Like, a lot of people are down there. You're not alone to go and watch the sun come up or the sun go down, because it's helping a lot of people, you know, heal and renew for the next day, especially if you've had like a tough day the day before. I always tell people, go watch the sun come up. Doesn't matter where you are, if you're in the country, if you're at the coast, doesn't matter. Just go watch the sun come up and renew yourself for the next part of your life, you know.
So how have these experiences that you had in your life, because now with your movies, your projects that you're doing, how are they shaping the way you tell the stories? Like, what things you bringing them in? Like, what are you trying to...
I'm a really big advocate for life experience, because a lot of people can't, when they're like me and you've just had so many kids, and like by so many kids, I don't just mean my kids, I mean like anyone could come to my house, you know.
How many kids do you have of your own?
I've got 6 kids and 7 grandbabies, so I have a lot. But yeah, that extends out to nephews and nieces and friends of friends and
family.
Yeah. And I like, when I was younger, like my house was just an open home for anyone that needed it. But that sort of took away from me being able to go and get a job and do what I wanted to do. So like when I sort of like moved to the coast and all these new experiences started happening, I did a Bachelor of Criminology.
Oh, wow.
But I got in there on life experience because I didn't have any previous, like I left at year 11, so I didn't have a year 12 certificate, you know. So all of my lived experiences helped me, like all of, you know, stuff I did with organizations, and, you know, I was a PNC member at the school, you know, all these different things give you what you need to be able to get into university. So I always tell people, like, you know, don't sweat it. If you leave school early, if you know, I know a lot of people are like, do year 12, but, you know, some people just coast along to year 12, and like you still need that lived experience when you join uni anyway.
Yes.
So I always tell people, use your lived experience to get into uni or to other things, because life's not over if you don't complete year 12. So I guess the same thing happened when I went to NIFA, also got in on lived experience.
What's NIFA?
NIFA was New York Film Academy. So yeah, it was the way I did my diploma of, you know, acting and film. And so when I did the diploma of acting and film, like it also opened my eyes to a whole new world of like, I can't believe I'm finally here. This is what I've always wanted to do.
Yes.
And it sort of really shaped my filmmaking, because I love acting, but my heart is with directing. So, and making my own stuff. And so I use in everything that I do, there's always what's happened to me in the past or lived experience of somebody. Because I think the most genuine and authentic way to make a film, and I know that a lot of the really famous filmmakers will say the same thing, that using your lived experience will make things so much more authentic and genuine, and people will draw to that. So that's just the way I like to make film.
I really believe in that, because I think we were talking about last time the movies I was talking to you about in India,
Yeah.
especially the ones from South. They're so authentic, and people till date, like still now, they believe what happens there, that deities or demigods that still exist. Sometimes you can't explain these things, but energetically it's there. So when you make something with the life or lived experience as you do, it's natural.
Yeah.
People will connect to it, and it's gonna be kind of effortless, I would say, because it's happened. You don't have to fake it.
Yeah, and it's so much more easier because the creative aspects of it, like you already know the movements and the everything that you want. Especially with my short film, The Boys of Black Rock. It's like a proof of concept for my TV series, but literally I got all my family to come and act for me. So I went through the last 3 years of planning it, wanting to get it done, but not having the budget and not wanting to ask people to come along and help me to do it for free and stuff, because I was like, oh, you can't do that. Like, even though I do it all the time, I was like, oh, you can't do that. And then one day I had this producer come up to me and she's like, just do it. We're doing it tomorrow. And she just went and set something up, the first scene. And I was like, what? Okay. All right, let's do it. And then it was just so easy because people want to help, especially if there's a meaningful message behind your film, or you're just even going to make someone laugh or something like that. People will jump on board because they want to help you help other people, and it helps them as well, So
It's like collaboration.
it's you've got to find your people.
You can't compete.
No,
If you're competing, like you are against the force.
I hate.
If we are all going together, then things will flow.
Yeah,
There's so many guests like that I wanted to bring on my podcast, but everything has a time and alignment,
yes,
right? And all the right people will come to you at the right time.
yeah, I agree.
Even like having you here today, there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah, someone
maybe
will need to hear it.
Exactly. Maybe the path that you're walking along right now or walking on, this message needs to come as well, so you can reach out to more people who are on the fence, who are in your like the experiences that you have lived. They're probably in that right now, and they need to hear like, oh, if this lovely lady can do it, why can't we do it? We just need someone to help.
You do, and you got to find those people. Like, once I actually put it out there, and I was like, I was so nervous when I was emailing people, and I was like, there's no way.
I know.
Within seconds, they were like, yep, and then you think, oh, there's no way they're going to come back again, and then they're like, oh, we can't wait, and it was like, oh my god, thank goodness. Like, and for me, because I'm 50, I'm obviously an older filmmaker. But then you look at all of the older people that have made it. Like, I post it all the time on my Insta stories because I think it's important that people see, oh my gosh, what did I post the other day? 88 years old and now they're billionaires. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I'm like, the more and more I see, the less I worry about age. Because
it's just a number.
Right?
Yeah.
And, it's like 70 is the new 50. Like, so, so it's not like lots of people living way over 100 now. It's like there's, you don't put a time limit on it because otherwise you'll never do it.
And the people are living longer are the ones who are enjoying life,
Yeah.
and not worrying about tomorrow.
well, there's no way I'm dying till I make all my movies that I want to make. There's no way. Like, there's just no dying, because it's the first 50 years of my life were raising my family, doing all that sort of stuff. The next 50 years is just going to be creation and travel and doing everything that I wanted to do in my first 50. But it was really important for me to have the family because of like coming from trauma and stuff when I was little. I wanted to create my own little, family so that we could try and, fix those generational gaps that were before us and before, say, my mom and, so I feel like I've been put here to fix those generational stuff, all this stuff that's happened so that it doesn't happen to future generations, so they can be, abundant and healthy and happy and things like that. So if I have to sacrifice my first 50 years to do that, I'm quite happy for that, because I've seen the results, and I know that it's definitely worth it.
Yes, definitely. What they call black sheep of the family.
Yeah, that's me. I've always been the black sheep. They used to call me Tornado Kelly. Yeah, Tornado Kelly.
So, even in my family, I feel like I'm the one who's doing that, like the things that I do or I've done, or the paths I've taken, or the things that I resonate with. None of my family understands.
Especially leaving India, right? To come to Australia.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't have to explain anything anymore because they don't have to understand it.
Yeah.
If I'm clearing the generational ancestral karma, means I'm chosen and the ancestors have chosen me to do it.
And it's a job.
It's a job, and it's not easy. You have to go through so much shit, but at the same time they're guiding you. They're always there and they're supporting you. And like the podcast, I want to do something for myself. And when it started happening, my first few podcasts were recording on the phone, and my mates were like, "Man, this is right. Let's just do it." We need to reach out to people to help them. So that's what podcast is.
Oh yeah, you can do a podcast on anything now, and people will listen to it. If you've got the value and something that people want to listen to, they'll listen to anything.
That's exactly right. As we say, we can talk for hours.
Sorry, I divert a lot. I don't know if it's my autism or what, but I do divert a lot. That's why I was trying to remember that I was going to do questions to stay on track. But
so, being authentic, how important it is behind and in front of the camera?
I think it's so important because, well, I'm a very genuine and authentic person. And I think that your crew, if you work with people that are also genuine and authentic, then the stuff that you make, the content that you make, is going to draw in other people the same. There's a lot of competition out there, which I personally hate. And everyone tells me don't use the word hate, but I do. I don't like it, because there shouldn't be competition. Everyone should be wanting to lift everyone up, because it's storytelling at the end of the day, and everyone has a story to tell. Every single person in the world has a story that they can tell. And if you've got people to help you tell that story, if that's your chosen field of what you want to do, then that helps you be able to tell your story authentically and with a genuine heart.
Yes.
If you're in competition with everybody else, you will draw that same crew. And then what you make is going to be rushed, and it's going to be somewhat not authentic. And when people watch it, for me, I've watched stuff like that, and I don't feel the best after I've watched things like that. Being my authentic self. This year, I've only just started ticking all the boxes. So this disability conference that I just went to, this summit that was run by Bus Stop Films, I went down as a speaker and talking about this, being authentic. And I have only just started ticking the boxes, because I used to, on all your forms, like your grant forms or your what sort of movie maker are you? Do you have a disability? Are you LGBTQ? Are you, this and that? And I used to tick them all, and then I'd untick them because I'd be like, oh my gosh, like if I tick Indigenous, people are going to be like, oh my God, she's just being given everything. If I tick LGBTQ, they're going to be like, oh my God, but you've had 6 kids. How can you be? If I tick disability, they're going to be like, well, you don't look like you're disabled. So then I'd untick them all. But this year, I've ticked all the boxes, and I am living that authentic, the way that I should have been doing all of these years, and being proud of all of the things that make me me. But a lot of people can't because of the way other people are very judgmental.
Other people, how they perceive them and stuff like that,
It's
just
terrible, and
yeah.
a lot of people give up because of that.
It's the world we're living in right now.
And I don't like seeing other people having to give up their passion or their wonderful creative actions because of other people and their bullying. And that can come from anyone, from someone on the street to a government organization. Like, it's anything in between. So you can be bullied out of your position by any of those things.
And I wanted to add something here that it's a message. If something that you like doing, or that it's for you, do it regardless what other people are gonna think or say, because they're not paying your bills. They're not coming and putting food on the table. So why bother what somebody's gonna say or do or whatever, because if you're taking step forward in your life and it's making you happy and it's not affecting anybody in a negative way, just do it.
Yeah, I agree. And it doesn't matter what age. Don't care what age.
Doesn't matter. Age is just a number. What was that guy from KFC? He was 65.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
and a lot of the actors are 55, 65, 75. Or the most famous model, I think that's one that was 88.
That's amazing.
Right? So it just tells me I can do anything that I want to do. And I was driven for very many years by other people's opinions. And maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you can't do it. Maybe, And then I was just like, I don't care anymore. And since I've not cared about other people's opinions, and I've just recently said to everybody, my new favorite person is me, and that I am valuing myself now. So either like it or don't like it.
Claiming the power back.
Yeah, because it's always been about everybody else. And now it's about me, still about everybody else because I'm making it about everybody else in film, but about me and my needs, because otherwise I'll just be stuck in the last 50 years forever.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It has to start from yourself.
Yeah.
And then everything around you will work.
It does, yeah.
It will flow. Because if internal is good, external will be better.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty about it, but I do have this thing as well where I go back to that rabbit hole where I'm external and internal I don't care. But then consciously I bring myself back every morning, and then you're peaceful, internally. Whatever has to happen will happen.
Yeah.
Regardless what you do. So why not just focus on what you have in front of you
and
do it. Like the podcast today.
Yeah.
When we were having coffee, I was like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Let's just
go with the flow.
Go with the flow and enjoy, because we can have this podcast for longer time.
Yeah.
And we have so much I can talk to you about. But today it's not about
everything else.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's about the people out there who we talking to. The value that Baxter wants to give back to her own people, her own community.
Yeah.
Talking about community, how do you honor your culture in your storytelling or in your life at the moment?
I guess right now I'm working on I was in youth justice, right? So I was in the justice system when I was little, and then a couple of my kids were in the justice system, and now my grandbaby is in the justice system. So I think that for me, I needed to tell the story about why, because there's this intergenerational stuff that happens. So until you break that, like I was talking about, like it will just keep going. And so for so many families, kids that are going to care, kids that are breaking the law, there is always 99.9% a reason, whether it's a disability like autism and stuff like that, or whether it's because of their situation and them being in the care system away from their parents and they're rebelling, or they're being abused in the system, which happens a lot.
Yes.
So there's always a reason, but everybody just wants to go straight to, put them in jail, Yeah, let's put the kids in jail so that they can suffer some more, instead of giving them the tools to help themselves so they don't have to end up there. So the one of the Victorian women, I can't remember her name right now, but she made a comment. She's like, we have to keep the people safe and we have to help them. What about keeping the kids safe so that the people don't have to be kept safe from the kids in the first place? Keep the kids safe. So all of my stuff around mob and culture is about highlighting the issues and highlighting why things happen. But also, I've also traveled up north to, film some stuff in the caves and stuff like that. I keep saying stuff like that. Traveled up to the caves so that we could look at what the importance of all of the storytelling on the cave walls is. And also, and also how that helps us, from the cave storytelling to what we're doing in film now. Because if we can storytell, and put all our stuff on film, then our kids can watch it, their kids can watch it, and it's out there forever, whereas the caves are so fragile at the moment. Like, it would take one touch and then, human touch on a cave, the acid from our skin can just melt, the stories right off the wall. Whereas if we've got it archived in film, it can just keep going down the line and help everybody. You can pass it on. It's very important. Storytelling is like the main thing that we have done for over 60,000 years. And it's something that is very important to me. So honoring my culture, I think definitely storytelling is the main thing. And helping mob, helping them out, because you can't always help yourself out, But if you've got someone else to give you a hand up, especially the kids. So
yeah, kids need more attention than ever before,
they do.
I always that's what I believe, that you look at this, like all the younger generation going to stealing cars and stuff like that. The reason being is because they don't have role models, like a positive role models, and they do these things because the environment they're living in is not a positive one.
It's not. And what happens if this child, for example, they're living in a care system, you have to be home by 10 or you get locked out of the care system. You get locked out of your house. This child's terrified. Okay, we're going to get moved from this care house to another care house. And even though this care house sucks, we want to be there rather than have to get shifted. So in their moment of, panic, they're going to jump in a car and they're going to be like, I got to get home by 10. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes there are reasons, or, oh, okay, we're walking along, this kid's got real sick. One of our mob that we're walking with, how are we going to get somewhere? We don't have anyone to call. So, okay, let's get this car. Let's get them to a hospital. There are lots of reasons why kids steal the cars, not just because they want to steal a car. There are kids that just steal the cars, but then there are also, and I know everyone says to me, there's no reason for stealing a car. I agree that there is no reason for stealing someone's property. But in these kids' minds, like their reasoning inside of their heads, especially when nearly 90% of them are autistic or have some sort of trauma from when they're little, or have, maybe born to a mum that was unfortunately, trapped in the drug and alcohol system, and they've come out with, disabilities from that. All of these kids have some sort of reasoning in their own head, but nobody ever gets to hear it because nobody wants to hear it, because the process of don't steal someone else's stuff. But then I've sat, because I work for youth justice, and I've sat in restorative justice, which is a system designed for the kids that have committed the crime and for the people they've committed the crime against, and then a mediator to sit there together and to heal their trauma together. And it works. And then they completely heal. And then all of the outside people are all, rah, rah, rah still, like the public. But these two people, the main people, the person that committed the crime and the person they committed the crime against, if they're quite happy to move forward, then who are the public to keep being like,
To keep them behind the bars and stuff.
So a lot of my storytelling always brings elements of realism into it so that it can hit harder, and then people can have like a is this real, is this not real, and they can make their own opinions from it. But at least I'm giving them something to make an opinion from, I guess, other than just, I've sat with people, even the poor lady, we come from Melbourne to Gold Coast, and she was sitting beside me, and by the time we'd got from Melbourne to Gold Coast, she'd totally changed her mind on the kids and can't wait to see all my stuff that I'm making, because it gave her another perception, because people don't know what they don't know. They know what media tells them. They know what they're being taught if they're not from a low socio-economic area, so people only know what they know. So until you give them something else to see.
And I think that's just my perspective with these kids who take wrong turns in life, or forced to take these ways or pathways where they have to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Right? They should have an opportunity given to, like, government should have some sort of boot camps with defense or army, somebody like that, where these kids can choose to go and clean themselves and find a better life.
Well, they do appreciate things like that, though. That's why there's things like, Navy cadets, Army cadets, things like that. And
So these
it's
kids
very
are
good
smart.
for them.
If they can freaking steal a car these days,
They're smarter than most of us.
Exactly right. So why not use this creative mind of them to something useful that they can be proud of in future?
But the thing is, that's what they want, though. Like nearly
That's what I
all
mean.
of
Like,
them
I was
want
having a
that.
chat with this counselor one day from Victoria, and she was kind of putting on to other government and da-da-da, but not coming to what I was trying to ask her or talk to her about. Why not give these kids an opportunity rather than looking at them like trouble and look down on them? Give them opportunity to go create this boot camp, stay there for 3 months. If you want to stay longer, stay there 6 months, and find, you want to go and trade, you want to go serve the country, what do you want to do? And from there, they will see, okay, you know what, if we're giving this opportunity, a lot of kids will take the opportunity. They can go in sports. Maybe because of one fight they had in a field, they've been kicked out of the team and they've been blacked out, go back again. And I'm sure, especially look at Indigenous players, they go through so much hell in their life, but when they do become famous, everybody's like, oh my God. But look at this story, what they have to go through since they were kids to get into the team, how much they have to go through, purely on the talent.
It has to be on the talent.
It has to be on the talent.
And that's the sad thing, and this is exactly what I've been advocating for as well, is that and being an older, mature person getting into this as well. So this goes from everything from a child to a mature person, and it's how, if you're in a space where you can't afford to go to the expensive acting schools, you can't afford to go, to all of these things, that you want to pay to get into, like uni, TAFE, and things like that. How are you going to, Because, yeah, the government does give you money, right? You can go and get HEX fees or whatever. But if you can't go and afford, like, the books to go with it or the uniforms or this or the that, you still can't go. So, like, how are we going to help kids, especially ones that are going to juvie and stuff like that, or women or men, or, how are we going to help them get into filmmaking if that's their passion, if they don't have the normal means to be able to get in there? Because there's so many people with talent. Like, my whole family just did it online. Like, you don't need years of training in an acting school if you've got lived experience.
Yes, and I agree with that. Well, that was I really enjoyed that section. We're coming to the last part of the podcast.
It goes quick, huh?
Yeah, and I was just checking the time. I want to touch on a little bit on your how did disability, I don't know if it has affected it or it had made it better for you or gave you opportunity. How did that contribute in your journey?
Disability probably makes it harder because you can go and go and go for whatever days and then you crash for a little while. So you go like completely off the grid and then you go and go and go again and then you crash again. Whereas other people can go and go and go and then they'll go on a holiday or something. Like I can't do that because I need to recoup everything that I've done. Disability wise though, it does drive you in the way of like you can't do it. So no one ever, if someone ever tells me you can't do it, like you be sure that I'll be doing it like real soon.
Yes.
So like say for example, the doctor told me in July, all you can do is life for size. I said, what? He said, all you can do is life size. I said, what's life for size? He said, you can go to the shop, you can come home, have a rest, get up, do a bit of housework, then have a rest. I was like, in what world do you think that me is going to be able to do that? So that's the diagnosis I was given. But since then, like I've been down to Sydney and I did crash a little bit in Sydney, but like because of all of the, it was pretty hectic. But, I've traveled a bit. I've done some more filming. I've done lots of stuff since that doctor told me all I can do is life size. I've nearly finished my short film. It's like, don't tell me that, my life's over because I have got a disability of some sort or because I've got, back injury or this or that. Find different ways to get through it. Don't let it be the thing that makes you have to lay in bed all day. Find a way. Like, there is a way. Like, I've just been down to the disability conference, like I said, and it really opened my eyes as to be like the extent of someone with a disability, and yet they're still out there kicking ass making a film.
Yeah.
Like, mate, you don't have to be bedridden because you have a disability, and you have just as much opportunity to go and do the same thing as someone that doesn't, but they don't have, especially in the film industry, they don't have a section that helps people with disability, be normal. So they'll have a section that says, okay, well, we're going to open this up so some disabled person could come along and be part of our film. Instead, they should be like, okay, how can we make it accessible for this disabled person to come and be completely normal like everybody else because they can do just as good a job.
And being accepted.
And being accepted for being a normal person that wants to do the job like everybody else. And because you can do it just as good. So.
Yeah, I feel that one. That's the world as well right now we're living in. Even if you mention disability, they look at you like, oh.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Oh, like, pity and rather than just motivation, like, man, good on you. Like, let's do it. Like, okay, like, let's go. How can we help you, or what do we need to do to make you, help you do this and that, da-da-da. Rather than that, it's just kind of demotivation.
Yeah, exactly. And they want to keep people down when they can keep people down. And I think that's the thing also that I advocate for, because I don't want people to be down when they don't have to be down. So if you're older, younger, disabled, and disability comes in so many forms, like even my tattoos, I'm tattooed from head to toe, that can be classed as a form of disability if you ask me, because it stops you from getting so many things.
Yes.
So like even when you're getting tattoos, and all of mine have a meaning, it doesn't matter. Like people don't look at the meaning, they just look at your print on your body. And so you're instantly put into a class, and it's like just stop with the, judgment. Listen to the person as who they are, and then go from there. Like just don't look at people and judge them straight away. Go and talk to the person and have a conversation.
Yeah. I remember, you're right for the time. I remember when I did one show on Netflix, and they were looking at my tattoo on my hand, just a little one. That time I didn't have any tattoos and stuff like that. And but one person was like, "Oh, that's fine. It's only little. Don't worry about it." She put her makeup on, but the other one was like, "Oh, well, you know what? It's not gonna make much difference. So just leave it like that."
Yeah.
So you were there. This is the first time, and I'm like looking at it. Do you want me to go ahead, or you don't want me to go ahead? So then they had to have a chat, and they're like, "Don't worry about it. Just go. It's all good."
Yeah.
And it's not that I was right on the front, but they think camera can go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, and it might come in, come out, but yeah, that was.
I know. And there are some famous celebrities, like The Rock and stuff like that have had to have their tattoos covered up, but it's like that's them as a person, that's who they are. Like, why cover those up? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to hire them, why cover their stuff up?
As they are.
Exactly.
And being different.
Exactly.
Like you have different characters. So this person is this character.
Yeah. I did a study once. I sat there and I watched every single free-to-air ad that came on. And out of like maybe 15 ads, you might have had one person with one little tattoo or something, because they do not put people that have tattoos a lot on, ads. And it just surprised me in this day and age, like when every single person's got tattoos. Police have got tattoos, doctors have got tattoos, people that say their life are full of tattoos. Like, why can't a filmmaker have tattoos and be, a bomb-ass person just like someone that doesn't have tattoos,
You do that, Kelly, you do that. I have one question, the last one. We're wrapping up, but that will have a couple of things that you can combine and give me a beautiful answer. As you give me.
I can try.
What projects you working on right now, and what with those projects, what legacy, or with your work, what legacy you want to leave for coming future generations in Indigenous community, or people who are in your situation, or they look up to you, or the ones who gonna come down the track after you're gone one day, and they look at this, oh, Baxter did this, we can follow her footsteps.
Yeah.
And any message that you have for people, so you can combine.
Currently, my short film is nearly finished, called The Boys of Black Rock, and basically it's showing a group of teenagers doing the things we've been speaking about within the justice system and in the care system. And it shows you the whys behind what they're doing. And then it shows them being arrested. Like, one of the boys is dragged out of bed from being asleep and, taken to Juvie. This is a proof of concept for my series, which is called Judgems Locked Up. And basically I have a documentary and a drama series going at the same time, so people can have a look at the documentary and go, oh, geez, that's in the drama series. Is that real? Is that not real? Like I said. So, that authentic touch to it. I want people to know that where I'm coming from comes from a space where things are really happening like this. I guess that even when I went up north to do these caves and stuff with Channel 10. And some of the kids up there that were rangers were like, how do we get involved in this? Like, we're all the way up here, top of Queensland, but we really want to be filmmakers, I said, anyone can do it. Like, just get your camera out. The kids are so lucky now. You've got TikTok and YouTube and all the things we didn't have. So anyone can post something on their phone now and start there. Start your creative process. Find who you are creatively and just get it online. That's what you've got to do. You just got to get it online. I want people, my legacy for my kids especially, is to show them that even at 50, I'm still trying, and like, don't ever give up. Because no matter what trauma you go through, no matter what you've been through, turn it into a creative process. And it really does, like, it's a healing time to do it. But never give up. And even like, if you're 18 and a filmmaker and you want to give up, if you're 50 and a filmmaker and you want to give up, don't give up, because it's your passion. Just push through and find a way, like find any way to do it. Like, you know, if you can't make it, like I said, doing, you know, a film, you know, go and do your YouTube and stuff like that. Like, people will still watch and listen, and you can still make money from it. Go to the screen agencies, get some help from them, get some grants, get some support, go and do attachments like I did. A lot of people don't know you can do attachments, which puts you with people that are experienced and helps you learn. Networking, someone said to me, you cannot be seen from your couch, no matter how creative and brilliant you are. It's true. So me with anxiety, I still, even sometimes still stand in the corners, like in these big events, but I'm still there and I'm still watching. Network, because that's the only way that you're going to get yourself out there, get yourself seen, and show them that you're serious, that you want to be this person. In any job that you do, it's always about being seen and telling them this is what you want to do and just doing it. Message, has to be don't give up. Don't give up, no matter how hard it is. Take a break, take a breather, and then get back on the train, because if it's what you're meant to be doing and you don't do it, you don't want any regrets. So
Beautiful. Well done.
I hope that made sense, because it didn't sound like it was making sense. So
Well, it will make sense to the people who need to make sense for, I think it was beautiful, and leaving something for future generations is always important for me as well. And how I'm leaving the world,
yeah,
right?
make it a better place.
Make it a better place. And we all doing our part. Doesn't matter big or small. Me through my podcast, you through your creativeness, your movies, your documentaries.
Even women at home that are cooking, like,
it's big in
cooking for
India.
your family. Like,
Yeah, they're
I
doing
don't know
like
how to cook at all.
They're making like millions right now. Just an average Indian woman started their food channels on YouTube, and they're killing it.
And I watch them all the time, because I don't know how to cook.
Yeah, they
All right.
So yeah, you gotta start, guys. That was the message I really also resonate with. Doesn't matter where you are, what stage in life you are, you just gotta take that step forward.
Yeah.
And go from there, rather than just thinking, which I'm guilty of. I've done a lot of times, like sending that text to the guest I want to talk to, or just
Fear of failure, right?
Fear of failure, like always want to be doing the right thing, you know what I mean? So well, that's the wrap up for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying till last. I hope you got some value from this episode, from this chat, and I'm really grateful for Baxter for this inspiring story, for your little nuggets that you just shared with us, and I'm truly grateful for you being here and being on this podcast and giving us your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for the people who tuned in, and I'll be back with another amazing guest. Until then, thank you, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.